I know when I have a question for a client in a jurisdiction anywhere in the entire world, I'm going to get my client in the hands of the best person in that location.
We had a university client who was setting up a campus abroad, and the first thing they needed to do was to get immigration approval to have people, trusted people from their home campus, go abroad to start up and to work at that campus. And then as part of setting up the campus, they had to create an entity in that country. They had to comply with all the corporate rules, all the tax rules, all the tax planning, employment law, benefits, the whole 9 yards, and learn what all those things were. So having our local ELA contact in that country was absolutely critical.
I had a client who called me who wanted to implement a reduction in force that was coming about in a very, very short time frame. I was presented with questions on reductions in force in 8 different states that needed to be implemented within 9 days. I sent emails out to the 8 folks in those jurisdictions who were all people I'm on a first name basis with and I consider my friends, and got the assignment at 10 o'clock. By 2 o'clock that afternoon, I had the 5 pieces of information we needed to know in each of those jurisdictions in hand from the lawyers in those jurisdictions. I had commitments to help from each of them in case there were issues that arose during the course of this project. And we were able to get the project done with days to spare.
We were on a panel of a major Australian construction company with Chinese interests. They were bidding for a project in Ethiopia. We were up against a global law firm, and we were able to reach out through the ELA network into Ethiopia to Tahami and put them in front of John Holland. And our competitor was not able to do that.
I got a client in Buffalo who called me with a very big OSHA problem. And so it wasn't really a state or jurisdictional related issue, but I really felt like I did not have the expertise to help that client through that tremendous problem. And I remember being at a conference and talking to Pat from New Jersey, one of our ELA members from New Jersey, from Day Pitney, and he was an OSHA expert. So I called him up and I put the client and him together. So even though it was not a New Jersey related issue, I looked for that expertise, and I remember that I had found it at the ELA, and I put that client and he together, and he was able to help them through, a terrible problem.
In Canada, we had a number of success stories. One of them was a national furniture company, and in the Toronto office, they secured the work, and the Vancouver office had worked with them periodically in the past. They went out to a national RFP, and Gerard Coos and the other Canadian members put together a national bid for this work, and we were successful.
I remember for Gucci, which was one of my clients, they had a problem for a no-compete agreement in Hong Kong. And so I look at the guide. I didn't have any idea of any employment lawyers in Hong Kong. And fortunately, that law firm was already working with Gucci. And so the idea was great because I could introduce a good name already known by the company, and Gucci was perfectly serving that in that situation, far away from Europe, far away from Italy, far away from their headquarters.
Yeah, we have a long-standing client based in Alabama that is in manufacturing, and they wanted to develop an online policy handbook where each facility could go to the company's intranet and see what the company policies were, and then have access to a link for their particular state's policies so that they could tailor what they do to the laws that apply in their state. So we contacted 10 or 15 different ELA partners in their states, had them review the policies, make them perfect for that location. The client was happy, and it was a great success.